There is no terror in the bang, only in the anticipation of it. This is a quote by Alfred Hitchcock. He's also known as the master of suspense. Now, when he said this, the point that he wanted to get across the table was that being able to capture suspense and anticipation in its purest form is an art. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because that is, in summary, what my project is all about. My name is Marius Sylvester Harper. I am from Copenhagen, Denmark. Yada, yada, yada. Let's move on to the actual project. I am not spiritual, but I believe there is something. When I say this, what I mean is that no matter how big of a believer or a non-believer you are in a different/higher power, you will always look down that dark, you can't really see it, but you will always look down that dark corridor and you will always ask yourself, what if? What if something jumps out from around that corner? Now, this is also why the horror movie industry is so big. It's because the movie producers who make movies like It, The Shining, Scream, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Saw, and all the other horror movies out there, the movie producers who make these, they know 100% that you will look down that dark corridor and you will always ask yourself, what if? Now, horror movies also give you the ability to try it on. What I mean by this is that this is what Aristotle described when he described the catharsis experience, being able to try on the extreme without actually being there and being in danger. So, all of what I have just talked about is my project, is what I want to do with it. I want to take all these fears, anxieties, terrors, take this and serve it to you guys on a golden platter. Now, the way I want to do this in the most realistic and interactive way possible. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you Lost Grounds. This is the game, the project that I've been working on all year. It will be played by its players for the reason of them wanting to be scared shitless. Now, those of you who are familiar with the horror game genre, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what makes this game so different from all the other horror games out there? Well, frankly, the answer to that question is quite simple. It's better. Now, when I say this, I'm not trying to sound arrogant or full of myself. I truly believe that this can become the best horror game out there. For the reason being, I will be using real-life abandoned places. This is something called urbex, or urban explorers. It's where you go and explore abandoned places. Quite straightforward. Now, I know this might sound like quite a weird hobby, right? But it is so extremely fun. Now, the experience that got me into this urbex thing. Let's go back to 2021 when I was living in Spain and I was on a hike with my friend. We were walking along, and as we reached about the halfway point, that was when we noticed an abandoned, enormous mansion forming out in the distance. And just like any old horror movie, instead of running away screaming, we ran towards that sucker with our arms wide open. And I remember the second we stepped inside, I looked around, and I thought to myself, it looks like a tornado has gone on in here. Furniture lying absolutely everywhere, but the smell that all these abandoned places have. Good old asbestos. Now, for those of you who don't know what asbestos is, it's pretty much a fungus that if you inhale too much can have life-threatening consequences. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. So, one thing I've noticed throughout all the years of going to these abandoned places, it's their incredible stories. For example, the abandoned mansion I was just talking about. That used to be owned by a family with 6 children. One of these children, he lived in this house his entire life. He died in the very same house he was born in. When he died, the house was sold and is a hotel today. Now, this is just one of the many examples of the incredible stories that these places have. For example, another one is of Ottagono Poveglia, an abandoned island in Venice, Italy. Now, this place has been everything from a refuge settlement to a psychiatric hospital. Now, a myth that is of this psychiatric hospital is that they used to conduct inhuman experiments on their patients. This resulted in one of the doctors going mad and throwing himself out from the hospital's bell tower. So as you can hear, the stories go crazy. So, all this leads me back to the game. For the first abandoned place I have chosen, this is an abandoned theme park down in Sanur, Bali, called Taman Festival Park. This place, the first time I was there, I was walking around with my mum. We were absolutely starstruck by this place, from the way nature had come and completely taken over again, to the way artists from all over the world had come here to display their art, showing the true beauty of decay. Now, the real reason I chose this place was because of its story. The story of this place goes something like this. Taman Festival Park was a theme park that was going to open in 1998, but never did. It was going to have the biggest water park in Indonesia, a crocodile pit with 50 crocodiles, and a 3D cinema, and so much more. But it never opened. Reason being, February 13th, 1998, it was struck by lightning. This resulted in half of the park burning down, and this was simply too much for the insurance company to cover, so the park went bankrupt before it even opened. Now, a quite crazy thing that you guys might have picked up on, February 13th, 1998 was a Friday, making it Friday the 13th. Now, this by itself is pretty crazy, but have you guys noticed the date today? The day of the week today? It's Friday the 13th today as well. Now, just last Thursday, I was looking around the internet for more information on Taman Festival Park, and I found a video from 1995. This is a video that shows two German tourists getting shown around, and since this was in 1995, it shows this place at its peak condition 3 years before it's going to open. You guys can scan it right here and see it. Don't watch it now, watch it afterwards. But you guys can see it here. I'll just give you guys a second. Now, just so you guys can get an idea of how crazy this video is, here are some comparison pictures from the video I've taken, from the pictures of video I've taken and pictures I've taken in real life. These pictures are 30 years apart. This was the water park, where they were going to have the biggest one in Indonesia. As you can see, the roof is completely gone today. This shows the real power of Bali nature. But this is the stage where they're going to have performances. And this is the restaurant. As you can see, the roof is completely gone today, and nature has completely taken over. So, for Lost Grounds, I will also be using the incredible rumors and myths that these places have. For example, one that lurks in the dark of Taman Festival Park is that when the park was abandoned, the 50 crocodiles were obviously abandoned as well. When this happened, this left them with no source of food. And the result of this was that they ate each other. Now, the actual myth is that the biggest one of these 50 crocodiles, the one that survived the 49 others, is still in there to this very day, lurking around in the dark, waiting for its next victim. Now, you guys are probably wondering what on earth it is I've been doing all year besides running around abandoned theme parks. Well, I have been learning about a little tool called Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine, for those of you who don't know, is a software that allows you to create whatever photorealistic environment you can think of. Here's a list of the things I've had to learn. And also this. And this is just a fraction of the list. Malcolm Gladwell, the guy who said, it takes roughly 10,000 hours to become an expert in any field. He has clearly never heard of Unreal Engine. Let me tell you guys, it takes a lot more than that. So, so at the beginning of the year, I knew absolutely nothing about this software. This meant that I've had countless evenings since then, sitting up until 1 or 2 in the morning, watching YouTube videos of things I frankly don't understand to this very day. But this has left me, right now, I feel, I can use Unreal Engine as my very own playground. This leads me on to Lost Grounds again. For the game, I've created a couple of side projects to just kind of like sharpen my skills for Lost Grounds. And here are some videos and pictures of those. And some pictures. Maybe could you turn off the lights for this just for a second? Thank you. And please note, this was all entirely created in Unreal Engine. Here's another video. And some more pictures. So, throughout this year, I have been to Taman Festival Park a total of 56 times, taking a total of 1,674 pictures, 104 videos that span from 5 to 10 minutes. This is a lot of footage, but this has allowed me to create one of the structures in Taman Festival Park as an exact one-to-one replica in Unreal Engine. You can see some pictures here. As you can see, it takes a long time. Like, I'm not excited. This takes a long time. But that is actually not what I'm here to show you guys today. What I'm here to show is something that has taken me 6 months, give or take on. Something that I've been sweating, stressing over. This I'm quite happy about. And that is the official teaser for Lost Grounds. Now, just a quick warning before I play it. If anyone is not into that whole spooky thing, you should probably run for the doors now. But anyway, without further ado, please, and also if you could turn off the lights and crank up the audio, then that would be amazing. Amazing. And I hope you all enjoy. Thank you.
Hello? Anyone there? I'm just an explorer. If you live here and don't want me here, I will leave. Huh? Is anyone there? This camera video is horrible. Why is it doing this? This place is creepy. I hope the next place isn't as scary. What was it called again? Taman Festival Park or something? I don't like this. Huh? Is there someone there? Not today. Come on, for God's sake, turn on! ends this video, you shouldn't be here. Just go and tell my parents and my brother that I love.
There you have it. I hope you all enjoyed that. So let's move on with the presentation. As I mentioned, I will be the environmental designer, meaning I will not be creating the entire game myself. For the game, I have put together a small yet amazing team. Let me present to you Christian Rishon Jonsen. He will be the lead programmer for the game. He's a close friend of mine, which is also why I chose him, because I know I can trust him. Adam Breiter, he will be the main character voiceover for the game, and also the person you guys just heard in the teaser. Dorothy O'Neill, she was the spirit voiceover for the teaser. So, moving on. For the future of the game, I will be going around the world, taking these abandoned places and making them into maps for Lost Grounds. I have created a Google Earth that you guys can see right here, and that allows you to see where I have been to and where I will be going to, and it gives you guys the ability to go to these exact places on your own. I highly recommend you do this because it is truly an unbelievable experience that you will never forget. So, please do that. And to sum it all up, horror isn't just about jump scares. It's an art form that plays with our fears and imaginations. With Lost Grounds, I want to take these abandoned places and their forgotten stories and show the true beauty of decay. With the game, I want to give people the experience the chance to experience true horror in an intense but safe way. Now, because in the end, horror isn't just what we run from, it's what we are drawn to. Thank you all very much. Now, I want to give a special thank you to Chris Thompson and Matt Bilby. I can see you over there, Chris. Thank you both. I know Matt Bilby isn't here today, but you both helped me so much with the incredible amount of questions I had at the beginning of the year, but also just helping me get into this crazy industry of video games. A special thank you to my parents, because without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to even start this project. I wouldn't have been able to go to these places all over the world. Tusind tak, morfar. And a thank you to my friends for, I have dragged them to these places an absurd amount of times. It's unbelievable, and they've been willing to do it almost every single time. And last but not okay, thank you all for being here and listening to my project. I hope you enjoyed this and have a terrifying day.